Afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another live. Instagram is telling my followers that I have started a live video. Welcome to another Sunday. Today is the 5th day of December 2021. Trying other means in terms of connectivity and space. When I change spaces, I realize that I'm having connectivity issues in various um, rooms in the house. So I'm trying to make sure that we are stable, that we have no glitches, and you can hear me properly. Hi, Karina. Is it Kiana Mac? Thank you for joining. If you want to join the YouTube channel, it's the Iconic Advisor channel on YouTube to ask questions or make comments, or you can do them here. I'm sure I can multitask. But of course, thank you once again, everyone, for joining me this and every Sunday. I hope my audio is good, where we talk about financial planning. I am a licensed financial advisor here in the beautiful island of Jamaica, licensed with the Financial Services Commission, the FSC. What I am licensed to do is to do life insurance, health insurance, critical illness coverage insurance, pension, which is your retirement fund, and of course, some aspect of investment to create that financial portfolio that is going to help you to create those financial dreams and those goals. Now, today, I want to touch a little bit, and I'd rather to have this with the expert, but of course, I'm going to do my best based on what I have researched. But of course, money does affect relationships in terms of a partner. Whether it is that you are single thinking about marriage, already married, or you're divorced, money is going to become very important in that aspect of relationship. And people may think that it may not, but if you don't have a discussion, if it is that you are not aware of your partner's background, how it is that their parents handle money, was it that the relationship, was it one account, or was it two, was it separate accounts, was it persons were having account infidelity in terms of that partner doesn't know that they have an account, etc., etc. How is money handled? How is it discussed? It is a taboo. And I can give you one such story based on an experience. And my mom is a go-getter. My dad is a go-getter. All the years that I've known my parents, they have been working. My mom was a housewife at one point, but as soon as she was able to go back out and work or wanted to work, she was at it again. I don't know how to sit at home. I know I have to be proactive. I know I need to be productive. So that's how I know and run a house, take care of my kids, wash my clothes, iron, do everything. Run a house and still be a woman that has a career. My mom still has a career. My father owns his own business now. Always working. Now, when I was getting married, this is what I know and this is what I portrayed. It was not intended to affect or to insult or to belittle my partner at the time, but is how I saw my mother handle things or my father handle things. No, we don't discuss money to say I earn X and you earn Y, and you need to see my pay slip and I need to see yours, and we need to pool our funds together. My parents run them thing, them come together, and the house is taken care of by both. If daddy needs to do it this month or mommy needs, but you've never heard them quarreling over who not doing what. Everybody played a role in running the house. Okay? To this day, my father cooks. So it doesn't mean that mommy had to do this and mommy had to cook. And everybody played a role in the house. And that's what I grew up seeing and knowing. So I expected that from a partner. No, when it came, I remember one day in particular, we went into an ATM machine, and this was before the wedding. And I used my body as a shield to hide the screen so you don't see what I'm punching or to see what is in my money in my account or whatever it is. I wanted this to be private. So I wasn't saying You go thief my money, or me no want you to see my money because you go beg my money. It had nothing to do with you, but it's how I handled my money. I was a steward of my money. I was making my money before you, so I didn't think that I needed to be transparent about my money. Yes, I needed company to the ATM, but I don't need it to see my pin or thing, okay? Right. I think this was the night before the wedding. It wasn't too far. Yeah. Of course, I felt away because he felt away. Hi, Sergeant Morris. Welcome. You can jump on YouTube if you so desire. Let me also check if there are any messages. And I must apologize for those. There were some comments and messages last week. And because I was focused on Instagram, I didn't realize. So, welcome, everybody. Now, with no pun intended, I was going about my business and didn't think that I was affecting this man because this is my money. Before I knew you, there was me and there was my account and there was my job and this is my money. Of course, it became a discussion or a point every single year that we were married. Now, based on those experiences, I'm not saying that I would do it differently, but I'll probably explain why I reacted that way and why I did that. But it's not that I'm going to apologize for me doing that. But if it affects you, then yeah, some explaining needs to be done. So we need to talk about money. I didn't know how. I just knew how to hide it. No, it's a popular form of saving system in Jamaica. That's not the partner I'm talking about. With the partner where you say that can be one that handles your singing fund, yes. But when it becomes to partnership now, in a relationship, man, woman, it can be parent and child, but you are in a relationship with someone. So I'm speaking about whether it is fiance, husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend, and even for those of you who are divorced, especially if it is that you have children and you're co-parenting. So, can money really ruin a relationship? And yes, it can. No matter how long you have been together, financial issues can wreak havoc in your relationship. It is a committed relationship, yes, but it can wreak havoc. When couples don't agree about spending and saving habits, of course, it can cause arguments and resentment. And that is what I had experienced based on how what I did, his reaction was resentment towards that because as a man is going to probably feel a way about that if a woman does it. But some of them do it to the women and don't expect us to feel away. And we feel away sometimes. But does money mean anything in a relationship? And it does. And it's not necessarily sometimes, but it's we make a big deal of it. While we're not saying that you should not set a hard line on how much a potential partner has to earn, income is certainly one factor out of many that are fine for a person to consider. So if it is that you're going to choose a partner, and I was speaking to a counseling psychologist recently, my very good friend Alan Casey. So, and I was saying that I believe that if we don't have these discussions in relationship, then we're gonna have problems. Welcome, Paula. Thank you, darling, for joining as usual. We're gonna have problems because I was saying to you before, if we don't know how you were cultured, what your parents think about money, is it that you are going to be, becoming earning from a 9 to 5, or you're entrepreneurial, you're ambitious, or you're not? Are you a good steward of money? Do you spend more than you earn? Those discussions should be had before marriage. I never had it. I never had those discussions because when you're in love, you're not thinking about money. You're really not thinking about the wedding, the marriage. Sorry, you're thinking about the wedding, and some of us are thinking about sex, but we're not thinking about the things that are really going to affect our relationship in the long run. And how is it that you were brought up, how you thought about money, how you treat money, your family. And yes, we have to pry, just as how they want to do HIV test now. And I think it was discussed. I'm not sure if it is a requirement, no. But it was being discussed that you need to know in terms of your status where HIV is concerned if you have been involved with other partners. It's the same thing with money. We need to know how much you're earning and how much people you owe. If there are any debts, any credit card debts, what is your credit score? Those things need to be discussing. What do you think about investment? Do you have insurance? What is what do you think about us owning a business, owning properties? What is your plan for retirement? All of those. So what is your plan for children? Are children going to be doing student loan? Is it that we're going to do an education fund for them? Everything as it relates to money needs to be discussed. If you don't have children, that's different if it doesn't come. But you need to have the discussion so that when the time comes, we don't have resentment in the relationship. And you have one partner who is overspending and the other one is say, boy, babes, we need to save. We need to save. One, the account is dwindling down while we're working hard to build this generational wealth and this empire, and one partner buy all the shoes and the bag. We need to have those discussions. When is it, when you pass on, how is it that your dependents are going to survive? Even just for their basic necessities, their food, their shelter, their clothing, their education. What is going to happen after that? We need to have those discussions. Of course, income should matter when choosing a partner. Even if them don't have it now, but what are the plans? What are the ambitions? Right? So you want to have those discussions. So even if they're making less money than you and you're okay with that and they're okay with that, have the discussion and make sure that you understand what earning less means and what is it that you're going to be responsible for and not responsible for. How is it that we're going to be achieving what we want and how is it that we're going to be spending what we have? I am not discrediting having joint accounts. But if you're going to have joint accounts, make sure that we're honest or you're honest with each other, that money exists. We're not competing when it comes to spending because we're both working together and we know that X money is coming out for that. We don't have to be having discussions and arguments or policing how much money you spend, why you spend that money, but we have some mutual agreement, some benchmark, and it is that we're going to be, not necessarily hiding and seeking permission, but we have an understanding. If it is that you're trying to achieve various goals, you can have different accounts. So one is for the house, one is for the car, one is for retirement. You can have different accounts that stipulate different goals that you want to achieve. And then the joint account knows, so you're transferring from the joint accounts to these various accounts based on what is it that you're trying to achieve, but we're on the same page. Money is not important than love, but it sure can affect love, as I said before, in terms of having resentments and arguments. One partner can decide that, that the children need a pair of shoes, but you decide that my work so damn hard for this money, me, I go shop for myself. And then I've seen relationship, and I've also had those experiences where we decide that the money is going to be used for this, and my partner decided that it would have been for something else. And it creates argument. And of course, your partner feel like you're dissing because remember, you had the discussion before that the money was for this, but then he went out and did something else. And trust me, big argument. And big man, I go feel like, say, you tell him how for spending money. So we must have those discussions. A person who has a healthy relationship with money. So you must have a healthy relationship with money. Understands the ins and the outs of their personal finances. So you have a healthy relationship and you understand the ins and the outs of your personal finances and understand that mistakes happen. They are comfortable talking about money and asking questions when they don't understand something that is financially related. I had a discussion with a client of mine, and he wasn't initially my client, but I met him probably about 5 years ago. And when I met him, he had some policies in place. And of course, he had introduced me to he had insured some of his employees with me. I keep having the discussion with him about adjusting what he has. Because I didn't think it was adequate because he is a business owner and based on the company that he runs, he needs a successor and he needs also to put some things in place as it relates to the coverage that he has. He has an adult daughter and a son now who is 2. This is his second marriage. And He's the discussion we had was that his second wife was laughing at him because she's much younger and her coverages are comfortable. They're good. The some insurers are. I mean, I was surprised for a young lady has in investments one at the maximum insurance. I mean, substantial coverage, much better and far better than his. So we were having a discussion on Friday, and he said she was laughing at the policy that he has because he was trying to encourage her to get some stuff with me, and she was saying, "I have already." And as a matter of fact, they're better than yours. Yours are foolishness compared to mine. And even though he had the previous policies before her and she has X amount, we were having a further discussion in the afternoon, and he said, I want to increase. And what is your recommendation? And I was telling him what was the recommendation. He said, all right, but let me have the discussion with her first and hear what she thinks. No, if I was that wife or that girlfriend or that fiance, I would be elated to say, yeah, man, go ahead. The fact that I'm being included in the process is important. So even when it is financially related and he would come to me for advice and recommendation, he's going to go back to his wife, have the discussion with her in terms of the choices that he's going to make. Even though this company existed before them, she's now a part of his life, and he has to have that discussion as it relates to money, because more money will be going out, although it would benefit her in the long run if, God forbid, he should pass, but his money is still going to be expended additional on a monthly basis. So you must have those discussions. What is a positive relationship with money? And today I'm not going to be long. Normally when I'm alone, it is short and spicy. My culture was my mom was the go-getter. Awesome, Paula. So it is built in. So you can just emulate that. Women are natural go-getters. I don't want Shannon. Hey, welcome. Thank you for joining. Of course, get started with these 4 steps for achieving greater financial health and over. So let me read that again. Get started with these 4 steps for achieving greater financial health and overall well-being. And I made a list here. So it says explore your financial values, and that is spend some time evaluating how you feel about money. Are you comfortable with money? Are you a good steward of money? Is it that you can be trusted with money? You have to do that self-evaluation. Do I when I get a lump sum, do I think about investment or do I think about another pair of bridges in which I only can wear one pair at a time? And we're not buying them when she have our so-called sale, but I have to have a Bridget. And it's people who don't like you, you're impressing. Or is it that I have to get another pair of shoes and there are 3 pairs now in the closet dry rotting? Or I have to get that Louis Vuitton bag that I may or may not use, but me have to get the bag. It is going to be in my closet because we probably have 3 more. We have to review your current financial situation and spending habits. It flows into that. How much is it that I'm earning and how much of that I'm keeping or saving? How much of that I am investing? And some of us know it is December. We're going to be getting bonuses. What is it that I'm going to be doing with that excess? Am I going to be using that excess to create other opportunities? Is it that I'm going to be buying some stocks? Is it that I want a consistent saving so that I can build up when the stocks or the IPOs or the APOs come out, that I'm able to advance on those opportunities? The other point is focus on spending. That helps you meet your goals. All of these zero down, nothing until February 2022 or March 2022 or $1 million back or blowout sale, whatever it is. All of these are adverts or commercial or ads that are attracting us to spend more when we don't need to be spending more. So if it is that your fridge is working and is in good order, now is not the time to go to Quartz or Singer because them have zero down. If the stove is fine, now is not the time. And especially, guys, when you have just come out of a debt. When you just come out of a debt, it's a beautiful feeling and you're ready to spend again. And sometimes we fall back in the cycle that we're coming out of. You need to give yourself a breather when it is that you have made an exorbitant spending or it is that you have stepped out of debt. You are now free of debt. Now is not the time. You need to rebuild, recoup, refocus, and figure out what is your next move in terms of not going back into that position. As it relates to credit cards, I won't even go there. If you understand the cycle, the 30-day cycle, that is that if when you spend, you're going to put out that money that you earn to avoid the interest. I say kudos to you, but if not, and every time you see something and buying lunch on your credit card and building up those, hiking up those interest rates in Jamaica, I know some of them are 52%, 57%, and you're paying back on all of what you owe. So if you have a credit card for $100,000 spending limit and you spend 50,000 and pay back 25, you're paying the interest on the full 100,000, just so you know. So that minimum that they give you is not beneficial to you, only to the bank. So if you don't understand it, for me, I canceled one credit card already and I'm in the process of paying on the other one, and I'm going to close it. I have not used any credit card for the past 15 months, and I am managing. Get your debit credit cards. They can be used online. I use them for online shopping, whether it is Amazon and some other ones, and I use it to pay my bills, and that means it is my money. So when it's done, the money done. I don't have to be thinking of paying any interest on that. So think about those. And the next point, which is the final point, is create a spending plan. One of the plans that I have discussed from time to time, and I'll point it out because it happened yesterday when I went to the supermarket again. If you have your monthly budgets, and as it relates, I'm going to speak specifically now to your grocery bill. And if you know that your grocery bill is 50,000 per month, and you're going to go to the supermarket 3 times, well, let's make it easier, 4 times for the month, you're going to be dividing that 50,000 into 4. So however time you spend that amount, so if you spend 10,000 this week, you know that you have 40,000 left to spend for the rest of the month. But if you spend the $50,000 one time and that's your budget, it means that if you go to the supermarket again and spend again, you have gone over your grocery budget. Another trick that I learned, and I did it yesterday, if I decide that I'm only going to be spending $20,000 this week at the supermarket or $15,000, I'm going to pick up those items. But the other trick is, if you use your card, you tend to go over the budget that you have. I pull the money from my card. So I had the cash in hand, right? So I went in the supermarket, and please, for God's sake, make a list. Check what is it that is important that you need in the house. Make a list and stick to the list. If you find yourself with extra money, then you can buy extra stuff. But if it is that you're working with that $15,000 or $20,000, when you reach your store, put back the things in the cart, take them off the conveyor belt. So pull the money from the card, and that is what you will spend. What I also recognize, I'm not sure how many supermarkets have done it, at Progressive and what's the other name they have for them? Shoppers Fear. They have a card that whenever it is that you spend, you swipe that card. I think it's a discount card, they call it. And money is added to that card. And at some point, excuse me, when the money has accumulated to a certain amount, you're able to spend that money. So yesterday was my $15,000 budget. When the cashier was done ringing up my items, it was about $16,000 something. I'm saying, gone over my budget. So I said to the cashier, is there money on my discount card? And she said, yes. When she swiped the discount card, it took off. I know when she was done, it came down to $14,000 something. So guess what? And the card is going to expire at the end of the year. I won't be shopping there at the end of the year. I won't be in the island. So, of course, I won't be able to use the card. It's going to expire. So, me use it and me stay within my $15,000 budget. So, you can use those tips. Okay, so these are ways in terms of achieving some overall health and overall well-being. There are some ways, of course, that I've seen also that you can use to improve your relationship with money, and I'm just going to list them. So basically that's what, so it's going to improve your financial well-being if you just stick to those 4 habits. Now, I hope I was of some help today, and I wanted to explore as it relates to relationship and money a little bit more. And of course, I may be bringing on our counseling psychologist to have those discussion with us. Hopefully, he'll be on. And I want to thank you guys each and every Sunday for joining me on the Iconic Advisor page on YouTube and also Icon Insurance on Instagram. For those of you who want to discuss your financial portfolio in terms of creating that financial stability, one that is going to create that financial saving consistent to achieve other goals. Hi, is it Manny? Thank you for joining. And of course, you want to make sure that you are covered. Did you know that your life insurance policy is not just for death benefit? You can use it as a assignment towards your mortgage, and the cash value can be used as collateral for the loan. You want to make sure that you have your critical illness coverage insurance in the event of a diagnosis. One diagnosis can wipe your entire investments and savings out. You want to make sure that you have a health insurance, your doctor's visit, dental, optical, x-rays. Of course, you want to make sure that we start the foundation with some retirement fund, your pension, that at the end of working, which is 65 years normally, some persons may think about early retirement at 55 years, that you have some money that you have worked so hard that you want to now relax, or you want to travel, that you want to make sure that's in place. So I encourage even the young people who have not started working yet, as soon as you reach 18, for those of you in Jamaica, make sure that you're contributing to your NIS fund. It is a foundation for financial planning, is a foundation for pension. And there are other benefits there, guys. There is a funeral grant there. There are other disability benefits there. I want to also bring on the NHT because it's not just housing benefit that is available. I'm hoping that they'll agree to come on, but there's also some other benefits as it relates to disability. Thank you once again, as I said before, for joining me this and every Sunday. Guys, I want to encourage you to stay focused and to stay safe. Also, stay strong. Remember to observe the protocols, washing of the hands, wearing of the mask, and watching the distance. For those of you who have taken the vaccine, kudos to you. For those who have not, kudos to you too. I believe it's a personal choice. And of course, look out for your friends and your family. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, guys. I so do intend to. Walk good.